Hey, good people. For the last 5 years that I've been the CEO of Grenada Nut Company, we have been unprofitable. And I want to talk to you about the two things that I've been doing that has made it unprofitable so that you can be successful in your entrepreneurial journey. So, for those that don't know, my name is Arthur Toole. I'm the CEO of Grenada Nut Company and the co-founder and co-creator of MegRelief, the first commercial level plant-based pain relief option. The product itself is amazing. What brought it to fruition was that I had injuries with my knees based on just playing sports and past military that nothing could alleviate, not physical therapy, not prescription drugs, not over-the-counter drugs. It was literally my wife taking me to another country, her father's home country, and them applying an oil to my knees. And then from that, I went from limping to walking to jogging to running, right? And so fast forward to 2019, I decided to make that a business and took off, right? Won pitch competitions and did a whole bunch of other things. But I never really got to that place of success, not because of the product, right? Because the product is great. It was because of me. And so those two things was I had an unhealthy expectation of what the market should give me. And so what do I mean by that? I wasn't putting in the work, right? I could tell you how to run your business. I can give you guidance on how to run your business, but I wasn't putting that same effort into mine. I'll give you an example. For 2023, I posted 5 times, right? You can check out the IG 5 times. And on my personal account, there's 0 posts about MegRelief, 0. And so the reason for that was, at least for my personal account, was because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm not any of those things. Unlike the prior businesses that I felt that I started, I always felt comfortable doing it because I knew something about it, right? Or at least I thought I did. But therein lies the problem, right? So when I look at the other businesses, I've romanticized the experiences. So before Grenada Nut, there were 4 other businesses. The first 3 failed, right? And the third one failed so bad that my name was irrevocably impacted, right? Some of you may know, some of you don't know. And so I have to live with those kind of mistakes that I've made, and I've subconsciously carried that burden, and it's prevented me from moving forward. In the 4th business, while it was successful, yes, we went from 0 to over $1 million in revenue in 12 months. I don't believe it was sustainable, right? The way we were doing it. And so that business ended up closing down. I ended up seeing that the people that said they were for me weren't really for me, right? They abandoned ship as soon as things started getting turbulent. And it's not a knock on them. They were self-preservation, right? They were looking out for themselves and looking out for their family. So it's no harm. It's just I was a bit delusional, right? So then when you get to a new business, and one that I believe God gave me, because I happen to have a knee injury that nobody else could fix. I happened to be in a relationship and got married to someone that happened to be from a country that I had never heard of. And I happened to go there when they happened to have the oil ready. They happened to convince me to put an oil that I didn't know what it was on. And then it worked immediately and worked for the next 9 months. I didn't need anything else for the next 9 months. It happened to also work for my mom, who's an occupational therapist. It happened to work for my sister who had shoulder pain. It happened to work for like a plethora of people. Like, you can't just have all these happen tos, right? And so I knew that God gave it to me, but just because God gives you an idea, it doesn't mean that you can just sit there and do nothing and expect it to happen. Like, you can't just expect to build it and it's gonna grow. And that's the kind of attitude that I was coming with. So my work ethic was non-existent. Like, I mean, there was 5 posts in 2023. And there was 0, I have a list right here of my activities. So for 2023, there was 5 posts on Instagram from 2023. I reached out to 0 healthcare providers and 0 influencers. I sent 0 emails to the customers that have already purchased, that had already raised their hand and said they were interested. I went to 0 vendor events. And I made approximately $2,000 last year when my goal was like $1 million. So I was saying these things that I was going to do, but when you look at hindsight at the results, I wasn't doing them. And then when you look at 2022, 2021, 2020, it was something similar. 2019, I was halfway interested, and I went to a couple of vendor events. I did a couple of things, and that was the best year. right, from a revenue perspective. And so why am I sharing this? It's because I had to do some real self-reflection instead of coming here and trying to act like I'm the subject matter expert with this podcast. Or if you listen to this on any of the social media accounts, this is for the podcast. So go to the podcast, the Restart podcast, to hear the full thing. I want to come in and say that I'm not a coach. I'm not a consultant. You can get that for free at the Small Business Development Center. What I am is a fellow entrepreneur who is committed to building what God has given him and build it the way he believed God has told him to, which was reach out to the healthcare practitioners every day and let them know that it's available. So they'll know that they have a resource that not only will relieve the pain, but it's actually healthy. So it's not like chemical-based, it's plant-based pain relief that will help your patients get back to moving. So that grandmother, that mother, that father, that sister, that brother who just want to move again, now they can without taking a prescription drug, right? I guess I was afraid of going in there and trying to compete with the BioFreezers and the Icy Hots because they're big. Not only are they big, they're billion-dollar industries. And I have made mistakes, right? But God gave me this, right? So what helped me get to this place is that I know that God will bless the works of my hands. So I live by 3, or previously I said I live by 3, but my actions didn't speak to that. But for 2024 and for the next 5 years, I will live by these 3 verses. Deuteronomy 28:12. Adonai will open for you his good treasure, the sky, to give you land and give your land its rain at the right season and bless everything you undertake. You will lend to many nations and not borrow. Proverbs 16:3. If you entrust all you do to Adonai, your plans will achieve success. And 3. Proverbs 3:5 and 6. Trust in Adonai with all your heart. Do not rely on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, then he will level your paths. I'm going to stand on that. Right, so how am I going to do it? I want to share, let me go back. That's the foundation to which I want to stand on. Instead of just doing it, instead of showing my faith by my words, I want to show my faith by my works. Because what I do know is that if I do the works, then God will bless the works of my hands. That's what his word says. And then God is so good to me that he's shown me with 4 people who I deeply respect and deeply admire. One is Ian Dunlap, that most of you guys probably know as the Master Investor. I was there when he started his journey. Not that I didn't do anything to help him get to where he was going. He gives me credit a lot of times, but it was him. It was his effort. And I got to watch him start with 0 following, 0 knowledge, 0 everything. But he committed for like 15 years. And just last week, I saw him post a picture of him and the vice president. And he is one of the most humble guys out there. And he doesn't have to be. He has results that speak for themselves. But he has the work ethic and the humility to continue moving forward. Catherine Sylvester, she is the CEO of Operation Mist, where she uses wearable technology to help monitor mom's health before, during, and after their pregnancy. She saved countless lives, but she was a physical therapist first. She went to PT school. She went to undergrad focusing on medical stuff. So she put in 15, 20 years focusing on her craft, and then launched her business, and then never once raised her hand, beat her chest, said, I'm just a subject matter expert on anything. She just did it, and now she has insurance companies reaching out to her. She has organizations reaching out to her saying they want to partner. Danette Toole, my wife, she had different jobs before, and in the last 7 years, she committed to being an HR specialist. She didn't have the bachelor's degree in HR. She had a bachelor's degree in marketing, but she put her head down and got to work. She went and got the certifications that she needed. She never once beat her chest. I mean, all of these people had doubts and insecurities, but they didn't let that stop them from doing the work. And they weren't braggadocious about it. And then as a result, now, fast forward 7 years, she got organizations reaching out to her saying, hey, we set this position up just for you. She's making more money now probably than anybody in her family has ever made, right? And it's because God will bless the works of your hands, and he will take that gift he gave you and allow that to make room for you. All three of those have done that. And then the fourth one is my son. My oldest son, Christian, literally took what we taught him, applied it, and then was like, okay, you know what? I need to take a break for about 2 years, figure out what I want to do, came back and said, okay, now I got it. And for the last 7 years, committed to computer programming. Now he got companies paying him hand over fist, right? Doing things with him that he didn't even see possible, but because he was humble, he worked hard, he didn't beat his chest saying, I'm the expert in computer programming and all these software languages. He was like, no, let me do the work. And then God blessed the works of his hands. And so that humility and that work ethic was something that I didn't have at the level that these people had, right? Because I expected to just get the results because of who I thought I was. And God will let you do that. He'll let you flounder for as long as you want to flounder. But if you want to get real and really walk in the blessings of the Lord, right? Then close your mouth, do the work, be humble, not humble and insecure, not humble and think less of yourself, humble and confident in that you're building yourself and building the skills and experience necessary that God is going to later use to bless. That's where I am. So for this year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the journey. So just in case you happen to be like me, or you happen to be like I was, or whatever, you will know that, hey, you can start from anywhere and get to where you want to be if you trust in God with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways you acknowledge him. He will direct your path. If you will commit your plan to God, he will make those plans successful, right? And then God will provide the rain for your land and bless the things that you're undertaking in his season, right? It may be 7 years for you, it may be 10 years, I don't know. What I do know is that it will happen. But our job isn't to worry about the when, it's not even to worry at all, be anxious for nothing. Our job right now is to do the work, plow the field, and be content in that, knowing that tomorrow God's got, right? And that's the part that we miss. And it's easy to miss with society that's all trying to, make idols out of everything, right? So follow me with the journey, or not. I just want to be here, a place to where you can come to see, hey, I am working hard. I don't see the results yet, and know that you're normal. So every Saturday, I'm going to post the results. So I plan on reaching out to 100 people a day. Don't borrow from anybody. So I'll post every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'll post the number of people that I reached out to for that week, how many sales I've had for that week, any debt that I've incurred, and maybe one other metric, right? I may go the whole year with 1,000 reach outs and 0 sales, but I have to trust that God has me, because I know for certain that he has me for this business, right? And so I'm going to do this not so I can pat myself on the back. It's actually kind of scary the notion that I may go a whole year and not get any sales, but have to trust God that it's going to happen, and then expose that to you all. And you know how evil and how mean the social media can be. But by doing so, I believe that it may be helpful to you if you're just starting your entrepreneurial journey, okay? So today is day 1 of entrepreneurship for me. Everything before then was just experience. I'm letting go of the things that are behind me, and I'm pressing on towards the mark of the high calling to which Jesus has called me, knowing that the blessing is in the work itself, and that God in his season will elevate us all. So follow me on the Restart Podcast, The Transparent Journey. If you're an entrepreneur that wants to do things God's way, and you just want somebody that is doing it with you, right? So when those moments get hard, you can know that you are not alone, because I can tell you, you are not alone. We're all just working through this thing, right? And we all have life happening. So I'm a business owner, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I have to take jobs to make sure I have food on the table while I build this, right? And I am trusting God the entire way. And so we can trust God together. What I will also do is that I'll post any resources that I'm using and any kind of pitches or grant competitions that I'm using so that you can potentially benefit from it too. I don't want anything from you. I'm not selling you anything. If you decide that you want to try MegRelief, great. If you don't, listen, I just want you to be able to move. What I want to do is just give to you and document the journey so that it may be useful to you. I haven't met him, but there's a guy named Alex Hormozi who has a podcast called The Game. He curses a lot, and he isn't a Christian, but he deals with facts and data, and how he grew his business is how I've always wanted to grow mine. Do the work first, get the results, and then share the results. And so he said how he wished that Jeff Bezos and somebody else, he wished they had documented their journey. So he's doing it for the rest of us so that as he grow from his $200 million portfolio to $1 billion portfolio. When he said that, that resonated with me. And that's what the Restart podcast is going to be. It's me documenting my journey as it grows so that I can share that with you so you can get there faster. You can get there and know that in those hard moments that your efforts and your works are not in vain, okay? So follow me for that. Every Saturday at 10 o'clock on my Instagram post, Instagram account, I'll post the results for this week. And so what I believe is if I reach out to people every day and share it with them what MegRelief does and what it can do, provide samples for them to try, and they can see the results, their clients can see the results, other people can see the results. As a result of that, people will start buying it. And then as they buy it, they'll refer it out because that's what's been happening, okay? I pray that this finds you and it blesses you, and that you get some relief in knowing that wherever you are, if you're struggling in your business, if you're struggling in any other area, that you are not alone. God loves you. We live in a world where everybody's still kind of fake, and not everybody. We live in a world that makes people believe that everybody is fake, when in reality, most people are not fake. They just don't know who to share and who to open up to, okay? Because everybody's worried about everybody else being judgmental, okay? This is a safe space. We're all restarting. We're all on our transparent journey. What I would like to do is have a place for all of us to do it together. So if that's you, welcome aboard. Let's go. I imagine for the next 5-7 years, I'll be in the student seat as God works with me to guide me on the path that I should go so that I can make MegRelief available to everybody. My hope is that within the next 5-7 years, it becomes one of the top 3 topical pain relief products in the world so that everybody can have plant-based pain relief. And you'll be a part of the journey, okay? And I want the same for you, all right? So if you decide to go on this journey, share your stuff. The more of us that shares the truth, the more people that we can help. God bless you. I love you.